Shanti. Om Shanti. Can you hear me? Yes? Okay. All right. So, good evening. And we are here today for the topic wrapping it all up. Hello. Yes. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. So, we are one day away from the new year, and the whole year passed by. And now we are here to figure out how we are going to go into the new year. That's the topic, wrapping it all up. So when we are getting ready to go somewhere, when we have to go somewhere, say suppose from one country to another country, from one place to another place, what do? We wrap things up, we pack them up, and we get ready. And so that's how we are getting ready for the new year, to fly into the new year. Whether we want it or we don't want it, we're going to go. Right? But the difference lies in how we go from this year, how we transition from this year into the new year. And now when it's the end of the year, a lot of things we remember from the entire year. It kind of comes as a flashback. Certain good things happened in this year, certain things that I expected, they were better than my expectation, and certain things maybe they were not up to my expectation. All kinds of things. Every day is a different day. But if I want to go into the new year, how do I want to take those things that weren't according to my expectation, and also those things that were according to my expectation of life, whether from myself, whether from others, whether from life in general. So when we talk spiritually about how when we travel, as is they say, travel light. They say if you travel light, then your journey is very beautiful. And when we talk about traveling light spiritually, it means when I carry heavy feelings. What is a heavy feeling? We are all aware. All of a sudden we are happy, and then something happens and we become upset. We become sad. And those are heavy feelings. So when we go or carry those heavy feelings, the journey ahead already becomes more difficult. Because from this year, I'm carrying those heavy feelings with me. And the journey which is yet to come, there are still scenes to come, whether good, whether bad, but I'm already preparing myself to be heavier to begin the new journey. And if it is a positive feeling, then what happens? The journey becomes 100 times lighter because it's a positive feeling. So now I could decide, can I decide what feelings to take with me? Can I decide that? Sometimes we feel we can't decide. Life is just happening to me. Things are happening to me. I have no control. How people behave, it's not under my control. What things happen in my life, and it's not under my control. So I am, it's natural to take those heavy feelings with myself. But how to take them, how to process those feelings is in my hands. For example, when I pack something for a journey, or even if I wrap something for somebody as a gift. So what I do is, first I think about that person, what I want to give, right? Then I think about what would be good gift for that person. Then I think, okay, this is my limit. So when I have to give gift, I always think about I have limitations. Even though I might have a big heart for them, even though I want to get the best things for them, but there's a limit that I cannot go over a certain amount. And if I see that, okay, I like that, but it is way too expensive than my limit, I let go of it. I cannot afford it. In the same way, if something is so heavy for me, is going to take my entire energy, is going to drain me, do I want to take that with me? It's not visible as physical money, but my feelings are like money for me, because that's a resource for me to move on to into the new year. So it's a resource. So if I am thinking about the same thing over and over again, it is quite draining. We all know that. After half an hour, when we keep thinking about the same thing, then it's draining. Then 5 days later, we go to somebody, we talk to somebody about that person or the same event, then again it's draining. Then when we are home alone, then we think about it, right? And it's a cycle that keeps on happening. And so how do I get out of that cycle? I want to wrap a beautiful gift. All of us have an intention to take positive things. We all know, we all read so much. We want to take it. And yet, when it comes down to doing it practically, it does not happen, right? It seems very difficult when we do that. And so, in 2025, various research happened. And one of the research showed that in our brain, there's two places. I think I mentioned last time also. One is the prefrontal cortex, right in the front, right? That portion of the brains makes good decisions, logical decisions, right? And there's one area in the brain which is amygdala, which is inside, and that makes decisions based on emotion, right? Like when we are angry, we make decision, the amygdala is activated. When we are logically thinking, okay, this is the right thing, this is the wrong thing, the prefrontal cortex is thinking. Now, when we are in pain, or put it this way, dopamine is a receptor which causes motivation, is a hormone, the motivation hormone. It gives a reward system. Now, dopamine is released. When it's released, already there is the motivation for me to do a certain act. And what that act is, because the brain knows there is reward in it. So go ahead and do this action. And what that action would be? Have an argument. You would think, why the brain thinks of an argument as good? What reward the brain is getting in an argument? When I'm arguing with somebody, what reward I'm getting? What is the good thing that I get? Yes, I am winning. I am better. Right? So there's a mastery that I have won, that I am right, the other person is wrong. So there is, even though it is a negative thing that's happening, there is somewhere within me a reward system is activating that, look, I've won. I am better. I am superior. And that reward system, when that happens, when I get that outcome, I feel better, and next time the same cycle will play again. The same cycle will play again. And what will happen when I do keep on doing that? Of course, I'm arguing. I'm not respecting other people's ideas. So, of course, my relationships are not so good. And then more and more it will happen. Now, if we think about it, in that loop, when any argument happens, how many times it replays in our brain, even though it only happened once? So many times it will replay. And why it's replaying? Because a pathway has formed. A pathway, you can say it in a way, in simple terms, if I'm going to work a certain route, that route has formed. So the same route I will take and I'll come back the same route. So a pathway has formed. And there is no way for the brain to break that pathway. It's a loop. And that's why what happens in a loop, it keeps on repeating itself. So I will keep on going there. This thing happened, again this thing happened, and the other person is wrong. And then another scenario, I'll pick up, this thing happened, other person is wrong. Then third scenario, this thing happened. Again, a loop is playing constantly. And science has shown, studies have shown that the way to come out of that loop is a conscious understanding. Right? Unless and until I consciously understand or have a different perception, meaning a different understanding about that whole scenario, I'm not able to form a different loop. And when I'm able to understand it differently, it's like finding a new road. Now the brain realized there's another road also. And in that new road, in the brain, think of the pathway as a road. In that new road, what's going to happen is that new neurons are created. There are new neurons are, or it's called neuroplasticity or new neurons. And these new neurons are processing the same situation differently. And now I have learned to form new pathways. But what was required? A conscious decision to come out of it, a conscious understanding that I could look at the situation in a different way. One is perception. Then the other thing that science showed is also pauses, meditation pauses, right? As soon as that reaction comes or that loop starts, right in that moment, if research has shown 30 seconds break, you take a break and you stop, you go within. Like at Brahma Kumaris, we have these pauses. It's called traffic control, right? We take a pause, we stop everything, the actions, also stop the thoughts, meaning direct the thoughts, right? You check what's going on and redirect them. So you're kind of consciously stopping at that moment when it's happening. You're realizing, okay, something is again coming up. And that is another method of changing it. Then meditation. Research also showed that by meditation, we are able to change those pathways, bring those changes in the brain. And that's why, we can unlearn. Say, suppose somebody has fear from, like maybe a veteran has fear from loud noise, right? Now, even though they're not at war, but still when they listen to any loud noise, the same fear comes. Because it has formed a pathway in the brain. So those can be unlearned through meditation. Those can be unlearned when the being is consciously understanding it as differently. Yes, some things that are very deep in your subconscious, it may take a little bit longer of the time, but it happens. Also, a very interesting fact is that whether it is physical pain or emotional pain, in the brain, they are both perceived equal, right? So when we have emotional pain, nothing is hurting. It's not like I'm hurting, there's a wound, but the brain perceives it equal. So physical pain, we'll go get MRI, we'll go get some treatment. For emotional pain, what can we do? Something has to be done, right? Otherwise, some new understanding has to come from there. Otherwise, how will I become resilient? So brain does not differentiate between emotional pain or physical pain. And when we talk about, say, suppose if we think about something that happened during the year, right? So I say, okay, I helped a person 10 times. 10 times I helped a person. And when it was the 11th time, when I needed little bit of help, that person wasn't there for me, right? And I will remember that. Why I will remember that? Because the 10 times when I helped, in the back of my mind, what was the help for? I'm helping, one day they will help me, right? And so my help that I gave was not fully, like 100% pure, I would say, because there is some sort of expectation behind it that 11th time I'm going to get that help. So what is the 11th time wrong, or all the 10 times were not done correctly? As is, when I am offering help to somebody, is it me that is really helping? If we think about it, do we have that kind of capacity that I am helping somebody? The person that is receiving help, right, from above. Somebody becomes a medium, right? So if I help somebody with wealth, if I help somebody with just by being there, where am I getting it from? What is my source? It's very easy to say that I did this, or this is my, my thinking, my thought. So if it's mine, it'll be this much, right? And that is why there would be expectation in it. But when it is that it's actually coming from there, but I just happen to be in the path of that being to offer that help. So when that happens, if I help with that consciousness, with that thought, the 11th time, when I'm not even going to expect the help from there, because the 10 times I already learned that where does the help come from. So the 11th time, I will not expect from there. I will expect from somewhere else. And wherever it has to come from, that's where it'll come from. Right? So it will break my pathway. There's some scenes in life, maybe they were not so great in this year, right? Like we are wrapping it up. So relationships, okay, if we have some argument, some disrespect, something that is there, I could always change that. I could change that because it's a matter of understanding. Change whenever it is positive, however I want to change it, but to change, to allow, to understand that I have the power to do it. Otherwise, it is a bad reaction for me. Then I would make an effort to change. And it's doable. Certain times, there's also something called, say, suppose there's a withdrawal, kind of a dopamine withdrawal. Say, suppose I am in a trigger. Now, I want that reaction. I want that other person, then argument, I want to win. But now it's not happening. The other person is not arguing, or other person is not even taking my phone call. Other person is not even replying. Now my reaction is not becoming complete. So what happens in the brain? More dopamine gets secreted, meaning more craving, meaning more like I'm even more towards like why it's not happening, why an argument is not happening. So it's actually so much guided by those, we are so much under those same neural pathways. So we could change it by an understanding. I will give an example. One of the dadis. So, dadis is a senior sister at Brahma Kumaris. In Sindhi language, dadi is a senior sister. So one of the dadis, she was sick one time, physically sick. And when we are physically sick, we cannot meditate. So she was not able to meditate because she was in a lot of physical pain. Then what happened is she would always go to, the founder, Brahma Baba, his picture over there. So they would always go to him, like he was like kind of, guiding. So they would always go to him, okay, what can we do? Help us, or what? He would kind of guide, So she went she sent somebody, okay, tell him that, I'm not feeling well. So the messenger went and they said that he's preparing a medicine and he's saying, come back in 2 days. So she came back. And then, so the dadi thought that, okay, after 2 days, I'll feel better. So she kept waiting, okay, after 2 days, I'll be better after 2 days. Then after 2 days happened, so she sent, okay, go and find out. So then that person went. And then when she came back, so when she went and told this, they said, no, that medicine was somebody else. I gave that medicine. I don't have anything for her. So she came back and she said that there's nothing for you. And he didn't give any medicine. So now Dadi was relying on him to give medicine or give some sort of solution. Doctors weren't able to find the solution. Doctors said we cannot figure out what the disease is. So then what would she would have done? What did she do at that time? So she thought, now it's my time to go. I'm not receiving any help from anywhere. I only have to remember the Supreme. I only have to remember that one. Then because now there is like one person I was holding on, I was thinking that person will help me. Now no choice, I will just remember that one. And she started remembering that one. In a day, she received help. The doctor was able to diagnose. She received medicine and she was better. So what happened in the entire situation? So it looked bad that, oh my God, she didn't receive help. In that moment when she didn't receive help, she did something that she was supposed to do for herself. Instead of relying on somebody, a human being, instead of relying on something, she connected to the higher being. She connected to the source, right? And that's what we do, right? We rely on little things. This one will do for me. This one will do for me. And then nothing works. Then at last we'll go up there. Whereas that should be the first one. Why? Because it's the source for everyone. So that should be the first. So meaning what it said, that if a situation looks bad from outside, it looks that, okay, I'm getting no help. Now it's my time to go. It looks bad. And in that moment, the biggest lesson of life was learnt. Hmm? So many students that come to Brahma Kumari, so many students have a story where they came and the most beautiful change happened in their life after the biggest fall. The biggest fall. Like it's when they were like broken, heartbroken, when they couldn't get any help from anywhere. That's when they learned meditation. And from after meditation, it's not like they were, everything in life, they didn't have any challenges, nothing happened, life was smooth. No, but it gave that power. It gave them that resilience that here, this is the source, this is how. If I am not able to play a game, if I'm not able to fall, how will I move forward? It feels very uncomfortable. It does. When we fall, it feels we don't want to leave our comfort boxes. We don't want to go out. But it is in those boxes that our power increases. That's when we are growing actually. Right? Imagine a plant who has never faced any storm, has never, nothing, just in a box. Like how much growth will that have? For children also, parents that are okay with their children, that okay, let them fall, let them experiment, they know where to come back, but let them, then the children come out brave, they come out independent. Otherwise we spoon feed them and then they're dependent. Right? So it's a method. Yes, it will be a little bit painful, but it's a method where we learn. So letting go of the things that I'm clinging on to, right? So when the pathways in the brain showed why we cannot let go of the arguments, why we cannot let go of any of those things, because letting go feels like pain. It feels like if we get something, we feel happy. But when we lose something, the pain is double than what we felt happy about. And that is why we cling on to things. We cling on to people, we cling on to things, we cling on to ideas, because inside there is a feeling that there is some sort of loss. So how can I change that? I don't want to experience a loss. Even if I surrender, there will be a moment where I would feel that it's a really lost game. Then the magic of surrender kicks in. What can I do? So there is this, understanding that if somebody is playing, like a child is playing with a game or is on the cell phone, he will not give away that cell phone if he's playing. But if you give him another toy that's similar or has some noise or music or a similar distraction, they will take that and they'll forget this. And they will not cry. Because the adult uses a tactic to use that. Similarly with us. If we get something better, we are able to let go easily. And what that better is? That better is that when I feel I'm going to be insecure without this, if I don't win in this, then I am wrong, I'm a bad person. If I let go of my guilt, I'm going to keep repeating my mistakes. If I let go of all these are things that I'm clinging on to. So what I do is, I go back to my original self. At Brahma Kumaris, we are taught that originally we are loveful beings. We are pure beings. We are that. So we don't need that validation from outside. And if I go with that I already am that, I already received what I was going to get later. Or the whole entire action that I was going to do is to get that respect, to get that validation, and I'm already giving that. I'm being that. I'm being in my truth. So my search for it stops there. And then I'll easily do that. I like it. I want to be in this. I can do it myself. Yeah, why not? 1 time, twice, 3 times. Be in that state, right? So it feels like the respect for the self increases. Then I am not expecting, I'm not telling other people that you give me. I've been given that respect from the higher being. And I believe in that. This is who I am. Does it feel good? Yes, it will feel natural. Because when we don't feel that is when we look for it outside. When we are hungry is we look for food. If we are full, we're not going to look for food. I'm full. Then food doesn't attract when we are full. So in the same way, when we are in that state of respect, I don't want to look from outside. And of course we have, so it's then letting go is easy. Then it's like, okay, I already got what I received. Now I don't need it from this. I don't need it. Then letting go is not, oh, I have to let go. It's easier. And it's a practice. It is not something that, it's an understanding, first of all. When the understanding changes, that's when the practice starts. If I just practice, and my understanding is I'm not agreeing to it, then it's just like something I'm repeating like a parrot. Right? So now for meditation, we have some special guest from Alabama. We have Sister Raksha, who has come from Alabama. She's a Raj Yoga meditation student for over 14 years. And she's going to take us through the meditation experience. And if you have any questions, we'll take that at the end of the class. Okay? Thank you. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. Wrapping up Christmas is the most wonderful time of the year. During that time, I receive so many gifts. I gave so many gifts. I put too much time in searching for that perfect gift for every single person in my family. I receive so many perfect gifts from all those family members. I enjoyed my time with all my little ones, wrapping up those presents. That time has been passed by. Have I ever thought about the beautiful gifts, the invisible gift that I have received from the Supreme? Did I thought about that? What did He give me? Reflect on that. Ever since the day I was born, He has given me so many presents.
wonderful life, the parents, the family, children, friends, and the selfless love that I received from that Supreme. Did I ever thought about that? So after Christmas, let this time is that time to reflect on all the gift that I have received from that Supreme. Take a few minutes and think of all those good times of 2025. We are at that time of the center where 25 meets 26, the time of the transformation. The beautiful word for this time in Hindi is called Sangam. One meets other. Time to say goodbye to the old and welcome the new 2026. Let it be the year of the transformation. New me. Picturize myself. What are the changes I want for 2026? Reflect on those. Gather all the things that I need to become that new me. How would I do that? Let this be a time to be a time for a return gift to that Supreme. Who has given me a lot. What does He needs from me? What kind of the gift the spiritual Father would want from me, a spiritual child? I have to become like Him. And that will be my return gift to Him. Now, since He's a spiritual Father, He does not has the body as I do. To become like him means become bodiless. How do I do that? I don't need to leave this body, but have that awareness that I am not the body. I am a spiritual being who never dies. I may leave this costume and get another one, but I, the spiritual being, never die. I will now be a bodiless with my mind and intellect. What my mind does, my mind will create the thoughts. And the intellect create the vision. Together with mind and the intellect, let's become soul conscious. First, focus on their body. Start from the toes. Relax your feet. Your legs. Knees. Your thighs. Stomachs. Your hands. Arms. Shoulder. Chest. Neck, face, now bring my attention into center of my forehead. What do I see? A tiny point of light. This light is who I am, a metaphysical energy, a soul. I have a spiritual power. Power to let go. Power to pack up. I am creating the perfect being of myself to present myself to the Supreme as a return gift. Let go all the bad past memories of 2025. And only keep the one, the good one, the perfect one of me, for that perfect one, the Supreme Father. Now I have to wrap this gift for him. What do I use? To wrap up myself. I use the aura, the powerful, loveful aura a light body made of white light, which I call angel. I am that angel. I have the wings of love and peace, of mind and intellect. With this wing, I fly up above the sky and the moon. I come into the angelic world. Where in front of me, my Father is waiting for me. He's receiving me with his open arms. He's looking at me, the angel, the perfect form of myself. This is how he is. I receive all the powers and the love from him. Now he opens that gift, and then underneath he sees the point of light. Now I go a step above into the soul world, where my home is. I see the Supreme Soul in front of me. I receive a rays of love from this point of light. We both are connected through that rays of love. He fills me up with that rays of love. after getting filled with all that love, I come back into this corporeal world. Slowly I come down to play my part as a hero actor in this wonderful world drama. Now I'm back again into my body. This is my new body in 2025, 26. This is new me, an angel, where I have all the powers. Power to love, power to accept, power to let go, power to back up. I will keep that in my awareness that I am an angel of love. Om Shanti. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Thank you, Sister Raksha. Does anyone have any questions? Okay. Thank you. Om Shanti. Have a happy new year.
Thanks, you too.